Would you like to see how I did this makeup look using Lisa Eldridge foundation and lipsticks and a bit of Nars thrown in as well? Then please keep watching. Welcome to Beauty by Des. I'm Des, I'm over 60 and I love talking about makeup, skincare, clothes and other bits and bobs that make me happy. And if you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up as it lets me know I'm on the right track. And better yet, subscribe to the channel so that YouTube knows to put my video in front of other older women who might enjoy this kind of content. And with that, let's begin. So I have a few Lisa Eldridge products and a few other high-end makeup, and I'm going to be getting ready with me. I'm going out this evening, very, very excited because we're going into central London and I'll talk a bit about that in a moment. But the products that I'm going to be using today, and I'm also going to be swatching for you, are the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation, this one here, which I have been using now since, I think it was November when I bought it, and I've been using it and I do really like it. And I think the colour is great. It took me a while to get the right shade, and I have a video about that which I will link up in the corner for you and down below in the description box. And I think this is the right shade for me now. It may change as the sun comes out and I start to get a bit of colour on my skin. Inadvertently, I don't really sit out in the sun, okay, maybe for a couple of minutes a day, but my skin does change a little bit, as all our skins do, I think, when the sun comes out and the seasons change. So very happy with the shade that I'm in at the moment, which is a 14. I'm also really excited to be trialling the Nars Climax mascara, which has arrived this very day in the post. I ordered some other Nars products and I'm going to be doing a video about those a bit later in the month probably. But I've never used Nars Climax mascara before, so really excited to be trialling that. But I'm also going to be showing you some of my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks, of which I have a few. In fact, I have 2 of one, so I think I've actually got 4 to be fair. I've also actually run out of the Lucent, is it the Lucent lip colour or the glossy? No, Gloss Embrace, I think it was, that's right. I've run out of that now, that's come to an end. But I'm going to show you the lip colours that I have of Lisa Eldridge, and I've been collecting them over the past, is it 4 years, 5 years that she first started her lipstick range? I think the red was the first one. Anyway, right, let me start with the foundation. Just to let you know, I've prepped my skin with a moisturiser, and under that my vitamin C capsule by Beauty Pie. If you're interested in Beauty Pie, not only have I done a video where I do a deep dive into Beauty Pie, the brand and the products that I've bought, and I'll link that up in the corner for you down below in the description box. I've also just ordered some new makeup from Beauty Pie, so I'm really excited to be trialling that, and I will let you know the results of that a bit later in the year. But anyway, let's crack on with getting ready with me. So I'm going to be using, as I say, the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation. It doesn't have any SPF in it, which is fine by me, although I don't mind whether it does or not. It comes in this really interesting bottle, so you have to lie it flat. You can't stand it up because it's got a pointy end. And it's got lots of skin-loving ingredients in it, but mainly it does have similar ingredients to other foundations that I've used. Now, it's completely not runny. It's quite stiff. So that can be a little bit of an issue when you're applying it, but actually the instructions to apply it are to just dot it around and build it up. It is about building it up, so she says on her website, and I'm going to apply it with a brush. My new favourite way to apply foundation, unless it's particularly liquidy, is to use a brush. And actually I have to say the Beauty Pie brushes, where is my foundation brush? I bought these Beauty Pie brushes. I bought a load of them actually because I didn't want to order the Angie Hot and Flashy brushes from BK Beauty just because shipping from the States just takes forever to the UK at the moment. So I just thought, well, shipping everywhere takes quite a long time, doesn't it? Even within the UK, never mind outside of it. But I just thought the brushes look vaguely like the Angie Hot and Flashy set. So anyway, this is my foundation brush, and I must say I really love it. So I'm going to apply, as you saw, I've just dotted a bit around my face. I may need a bit more. Now, let me just tell you about my skin. My skin is normal. I mean, it's mature, obviously, well over 50, well over 60, in fact. But I'm quite lucky really in that it is not dry and it is not greasy or oily. It's just normal. However, I have two issues with it. I have a bit of a dry patch going on here, so I have to just watch that the foundation I use doesn't start to flake in the middle of my brows. And the other issue I have is that I'm allergic to fragrance. So that knocks out all the Dior foundations, for example, because they all seem to have fragrance. And in fact, if you know of a Dior foundation or any other high-end foundation that you really like that doesn't have fragrance in it, or parfum as they like to call it, please let me know down below in the comments, because I love trialing high-end foundations. Well, I love trialing all foundations. But the problem I have is that a lot of them do contain parfum. And if they contain parfum, it's a no-no for me. Now, what do you think of that foundation? I think that is looking really very, very good. Okay, so we've got Lisa foundation on. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to use my Tarte Ultra Creamy Concealer. I really like this. This is a high-end, and all the products I'm going to be using today are high-end. I recently did a video, which I'll link up here and down below in the description box, where I found dupes for the high-end products that I use on a regular basis. And actually, I was really pleased with the results. But today, because I'm going out and we're going somewhere sprauncy, we're going to the Cafe Royal for a drink, which I'm really excited about because I haven't been there. This is the doe foot applicator, by the way, nice and thick. I haven't been to the Cafe Royal for, oh my gosh, I can't remember the last time I went. It's in Piccadilly, so it's in quite a sort of, you know, sprauncy area of London. And then we're going to a restaurant called Folie, which I don't know, which is in Golden Square in Soho. So very much looking forward to that. So I'm just going to dab this on. I don't need a huge amount. Actually, yeah, let's just put one extra bit on. Another thing that I think is really good about the Lisa Eldridge foundation is it is skin-like, because actually you can still see my blemishes. This is the one blemish that I always check to see how covered it is. It's a little red spot. I don't know if you can see it there. So I will just cover it up with a tiny bit. There we are. I mean, I don't seem to have a lot of redness really in my skin, so I don't really worry about whether I'm a bit red around my nose or anything. I mean, to be honest, I don't know if I am or not. Anyway, I'm going to tap this around my under eyes, and then I'm going to tap a bit on the top as well, like so. So with Lisa Eldridge makeup, I was going to try the lid shades, but they're a bit glittery for my liking, so I didn't get them. And I haven't got the what else has she got? So she's got the highlighter. I didn't get the highlighter because I've still got so much of my Charlotte Tilbury, which I must have had for about 5 years now, the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless filter, which I'm going to use in a minute. So I didn't bother getting that, but I'm quite tempted by some more lip colours. And she has lip pencils, which I'm quite tempted to try. This is the Beauty Pie concealer brush, which I think I will just use to kind of, I'll just use to sort of finish off. Okay, I think that's looking really good. And, you know, I don't think this needs powder, really. I think it gives a really nice skin-like finish. The only thing I might say is it is looking quite matte. So I might, well, I am going to have some highlighter because I said I was anyway before. Okay, now I'm going to do brows. Now, I've got this great Bobbi Brown pencil, which I really like. I bought a black one by mistake a few months ago, and I realised it's a bit too harsh, so I'm going to go with brown, and I prefer it really. It's lovely and waxy, this pencil. I'm going to use what I was going to call my Hourglass fibre gel, but I think fibre gel, or maybe it is fibre gel actually, but that's a sort of something for your insides, isn't it? But anyway, whatever it's called, brow fibre thingy. Anyway, this is it, just to sort of fluff them up a bit. Ooh. Just to make them look a bit more interesting and not too Groucho Marx like, I hope. The next thing I'm going to do, which I should have done before, is apply some powder to my lids and just under my eyes. Just tap that off and pop it around my lids and under my eye, just to do a bit of setting. And it really does the trick, this stuff. It doesn't seem to settle into fine lines, which I really like. The next thing we're going to do is choose some colours from the Morphe by Madison Beer Channel Surfing even artistry palette. And it's very well used, as you can see. I absolutely love this palette. It is my favourite palette of all the palettes I own, I think. Okay, so let's say we're going to go in with this one here, this sort of pinky, palish pinky colour as a transition shade. Ooh. So let's pop that on. So yeah, I'm just going to pop it on, not terribly tidily at this moment in time. Just add a bit more because we can always tidy it up a bit later. It's really just laying down a base, to be honest. Then the next colour we'll choose for the lid. So I think what we're going to do is we'll go with this one, this one, sorry, I beg your pardon, this one here. I will list everything down below. I'm going to get quite a decent amount of colour on the brush. And then the idea is I'm just going to place it. Actually, let me twist this round. Oh yeah, look at that beautiful colour. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that so much. Right, so you can see how far we've got there. Look at that gorgeous, gorgeous colour. It really is fabulous. So then I'm going to tightline with my liner by L'Oreal. I've just arrived this one this week because I was running very, very low. Great mechanical pencil, really good for waterline and for tightlining. Now I'm also going to use this pencil to line just above my top lashes as well. So let me just do that. Now I'm going to go over the liner with another colour from the palette. I'm going to use the black, I think, just because we're going a bit dramatic. So I'm just going to dip my nice flat brush into the black. This is a great flat brush, this. I thought I'd lost it the other day, but luckily I found it. And I'm just going to go over the line. Okay, so now as you can see, we've added some black powder to the line that we just created. I've added the merest shimmer to my lids just to give it a bit more interest, which may or may not get lost once I put mascara on. Now this is really exciting. We're going to use the Nars Orgasm, is it? No. What's it called? Climax. Same thing. Orgasm is the blusher, isn't it? This is and this is a mini, because I got this when I ordered some other Nars products. So this will be the first time I've used it. So let's see what it's like. Ooh, ooh, lovely thick brush. Love a thick brush. Now I often use a primer on my lashes, but I forgot to bring it. But never mind. Well, let's see how it performs without the primer. Not bad for a first coat. I'll tell you what I'm really liking about this is it isn't clumping. Despite having a huge brush head, there's no clumping, or at least not real clumping. So I'm liking that a lot. I'm not going to use this on my bottom lashes. I'm going to use my MAC Extended Play Gigablack because that is a tubing mascara, which means it doesn't smudge. Now let's finish off the face before we get to the pièce de résistance, which is the lipstick. So now I'm going to get my Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury, which, as I say, I must have had for about 5 years now, maybe more. Big doe foot applicator. I'm going to do a bit of Adamant. And those of you old enough to remember him, you will know what I mean. And then I'm just going to pop it on. I used to worry about it settling in my fine lines, but actually, do you know what? I don't mind now. It kind of just gives some texture to my face and gives some lightness and brightness to it. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot. In fact, sometimes I'm not sure if I'm putting enough on, but anyway, we'll see at the end. Okay, next thing is blusher, and I think we will go with, we're going to go with the Hourglass Mood Exposure. And this is, there it is. This is a colour that the fantastic Tamara that's her favourite, and I couldn't get hold of it for ages. I could only get the other one, which is this one, the Luminous Flush, which I do really love, and I have used it. I mean, gosh, I don't know when I'm going to run out of it, to be honest. They seem to be quite long lasting, but anyway, this one is a bit more subtle, and maybe it's the right colour for this particular eyeshadow. So let's see. We might put a bit more Charlotte Tilbury on afterwards, but there we are. I'm going to be doing some blending in a minute anyway. Yeah, I may have gone a bit over the top there, but don't worry, we will be blending in a moment. Now, the next thing is some bronzer. I really struggle to find bronzers in the right shade for me, but I have ordered one. Was it from, no, it wasn't Nars, it was, what's the other brand I've ordered from? It's either Beauty Pie or Trini London or both, can't remember which now. But anyway, my good old Stonestreet, which as you can see is very well used. And I'm going to, yeah, this is my brush, which I think is a Morphe. Yes, it's a Morphe brush. Just pop that in there. I don't know why I do this, because that's really more for contouring. But to be honest, we all kind of mix contouring and bronzer together these days, don't we? So, right, now we need to do a lot of blending, because I may have gone a bit overboard. This is a great brush, this. Oh, let me just show you. This is a great brush. This is a Charlotte Tilbury, which I got free when I did an online kind of masterclassy thing with them. And it's really good kabuki brush. I think it's great for blending face products because it's nicely densely packed and it just mixes everything nicely together or blends it together. Now, I hope I haven't overdone the makeup. It's so hard to tell when I look in my little viewfinder thingy, because I don't have a monitor, so I'm just looking into the camera, whatever they call it, the monitor bit on the camera. It's very hard to tell how it's going to come out, but I think that's probably okay. So now we get to the Lisa Eldridge lipsticks, the pièce de résistance, and we're going to start with Velvet Ribbon, or at least I'm going to swatch them all for you so you can see. And Velvet Ribbon was the very, very first lipstick that Lisa came up with, or at least the velvet red lipsticks were the first that she came up with. So let's swatch that for you there. Now look at that fantastic red. Isn't that just the most beautiful? And they feel really velvety. When you first get them, they look like velvet when you take them when you take the bullet out or you show the bullet. And they're also in these fantastic metallic or metal closing, magnet closing cases. So they're really smart and they have her beautiful logo on the front there. Right, so this one is Velvet Beauty. I have two of these actually. There you are, that's a fantastic pink colour, pinky blue. I mean, because I tend to gravitate towards cool colours, I don't have any, well, I do have some warm. Actually, Velvet Muse, actually the other two are a little bit warmer, but the two at these are definitely cool colours. Now this one is Velvet Muse. That's Velvet Muse. And then the final one is Velvet Blush, which is a bit darker. So there you have it. Now, which one am I going to go for? So I think probably the last one. I think probably Velvet Blush, but I'm going to show them all to you anyway so you can decide. So let's start with Velvet Ribbon. Now, you'll have to forgive me, my lips are really dry at the moment. And what I like to do with Lisa Eldridge, I mean, you can apply them from the bullet, but actually, as she does also show on her, when she demos her lipsticks, oh gosh, that just feels so nice, look. I'm going to put it on my finger. I think applying it with the finger gives the colour a little bit less pigment, but maybe for mature skins a little bit softer than it might do if you were just to apply it from the bullet. And I really do love this colour, I must say, as a red, as a true red. It is a beautiful, beautiful colour. I'm just sometimes not brave enough to go out in a red lipstick, even though I love trying them on at home. But anyway, that is Velvet Ribbon. Right, the next one I'm going to try is Velvet Beauty, and I think this one, this is it here, I think I will apply this straight from the bullet, because the colour is not as strong. This is much pinkier. That's a great colour as well, isn't it? I really love that colour. This is probably the one I reach for the most, although I did used to have Velvet Muse, which I'm going to show you in a sec. Was it? I think it's Velvet Muse. And I actually finished that ages ago, like over a year ago now. But I do really love this colour, and I think I wear this, or I wore this quite a lot in the summer. So this is Velvet Beauty. And that's it there. Okay, the next one I'm going to show is Velvet Muse, which is this one here. And this is the one that I have used up, and this is my second purchase. And again, I think I will, because it's lighter, I'm going to put it on straight from the bullet. This is a colour that I wasn't sure would look right on me, and I sometimes think it depends on what I'm wearing as well as what eyeshadow and other colours I've got on my skin. But I think when I look in the camera, interestingly enough, it looks different from when I look at it in the mirror. But anyway, I think it's a great colour. Gosh, these lipsticks feel so fantastic on my lips. Lately, and if you've watched up my other videos, you'll see I tend to gravitate at the moment towards the liquid lipsticks, which, as I say, is a misnomer, as I've said in my other videos, because although they look liquid when you put them on, they're actually quite dry and matte, which I really like. I like that look. I don't like a glistening lip. But I have to say, these feel absolutely fabulous on the lips. So that's Velvet Muse. Finally, Velvet Blush. This one here. I think I will use my finger again to apply this one because it is really quite dark. So let's try that anyway. That's how it comes out on my finger. You see, that's interesting, isn't it? So that is a bit like... Yeah, I like it applied with the finger. I think it looks soft. I'm just going to finish off with a Charlotte Tilbury lip pencil in Hot Gossip. There, I think that looks a little bit tidier. So here's the finished look. What do you think? Don't you think Lisa Eldridge products are wonderful for mature skins? I really do. I think what they give us is, well, the foundation has given me great coverage. As you can see, it doesn't seem to have settled into fine lines. I have got a review of Lisa Eldridge where I compare it to IT Cosmetics. If you want to see that video, I'll link that up here in the corner for you and down below in the description box. I've done a couple of videos on Lisa Eldridge foundations. I've done the one where I chose the shade, which I mentioned before, but I've also done one where I compare it to other high-end foundations. And I do think it's a great foundation. It's not my top one, but it's definitely in my top 5. And I've loved putting it on again today. And as I get used to it, actually, maybe I'm getting better at applying it. So it definitely is worth trying if you're looking for a nice high-end foundation that gives good coverage without being too heavy. But I also think if you haven't tried the lipsticks, I mean, look at them. They are beautiful, aren't they? They really are. They come in these fantastic cases. They're long lasting, they feel really comfortable on the skin, they look beautiful. I mean, what's not to love, really? So there you have it. That is the finished look. I'm really delighted with the Lisa Eldridge foundation and with the lipstick and with the Nars Climax. I must remember that's what it's called. The Climax mascara has been great. And I'm going to be doing some more Nars videos actually, so look out for those. If you found this video helpful, interesting, or even amusing, then please consider subscribing to the channel, giving me a thumbs up and hitting the bell icon. And thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye!